I decided to start working on the jungle treehouse. This is the view from the very, very top. I put little half slabs. Mobs can't spawn on half slabs. I put down the treasure chest from the dungeon and put the treasure in it. I don't like walking on tree blocks, so leaf blocks, so I decided I needed a platform. It also just needed to be a little bigger. And then I put leaf blocks all the way around. They won't disintegrate because they're touching the half slabs. I used half slabs because mobs can't spawn on half slabs. And then I went all the way around and hung vines because vines help break falls. It also looks more natural, like a real tree, to have the vines hanging down. And I just really like them. I think they're very pretty. Then I put blocks of logs, jungle logs, just to make absolutely sure that the leaves won't disintegrate, and also because it just looks really pretty. Also, I'm going to put pumpkins, jack-o'-lanterns on every corner to add extra light. Spiders like the tops of trees so that they spawn up there if it's dark enough, and then they will jump on your head, and I'm not particularly fond of that. So I'm trying to make this as mob-proof as I possibly can. I don't like jack-o'-lantern faces, so I covered the jack-o'-lanterns. Again, I just like vines hanging, but that requires sneaking, where you hit your shift key while you're hitting a movement key, W, A, S, or D, depending on the direction you want to go. It was really creepy. This is so high up in the world that when the sun is setting, I can see both the sun and the moon at the same time from opposite directions. So I'm very, very high up. And of course, falling would have meant instantaneous death. Of course, I'd have just respawned in my bed and run back up and gotten my stuff. But I have some serious experience points, XP, and I'd really like not to lose them before I have a chance to make an enchanting table and enchant something. You know, like a really good sword or armor. So I don't want to lose my XP by dying. So I covered the whole thing with vines. You see, you can step up without hopping from the half slab onto a whole block. The leaves are a whole block. Lots of things don't attach to leaves, so just be prepared and know that that's true. I also set my render distance to normal so that the video wouldn't be as jumpy as it was when it was set to far. That was an awful lot of stuff for my computer to try to do at once, doing the video recording as well as rendering all those blocks and all that detail. So the fog really helped a lot. Now I'm showing you how to make a crafting table. 4 blocks of planks in your crafting area on your body. Put them in a square and you get a crafting table. Because crafting tables have 9 spaces and your poor little personal crafting area only has 4, which comes in handy for things like making torches and so on. Drop the blocks, pick them up by walking toward them, set down the crafting table, and you're good to go to start making stuff. I put blocks of planks on top of each other, made sticks. Then I took the 6, I put them 6 horizontally, and that will make fences, so that I can make a little banister rail thing all the way around so that maybe I won't fall off and crash and burn. Then I extended it up. This is just for decoration because I thought, why the heck not? Because I had an accident with that piece of fence went in the wrong place. It's very hard to see the hitbox, the place you point to, because it's just a fine little black line. I wish they would make some sort of accessibility mod for vision impaired people so that when you're pointing at a block, it gets a little brighter, it lights up, you know. Then it would be a lot easier to see what you're pointing at. See, I put planks all the way around the second layer too. That's what the top layer looks like. Planks all the way around the second layer, but I didn't disturb any of the leaves. I like the leaf shape and I wanted to keep it as natural looking as possible. On my detailed top part, I put a little roofy doodle made out of half slabs. Depends on where you point on a block, up or down. At the top half of a block or the bottom half of a block, where your half slabs are going to go. On the second layer, I put glass. Glass does not attach right to fence posts. Darn it. Still looks okay, so I left it. But the fence is saying, I occupy this space, you can't be here, and it won't let the glass place. So you end up with it looking just a tiny bit hinky. I love my ladder. I don't know what floor this is. I guess it's underneath the garden. I'm placing blocks diagonally. Sometimes I did it right, sometimes I didn't. It's kind of tall, it's hard to reach, because I'm going to dig out the block above the blocks I placed diagonally, and I'm going to place water. In order to grow most crops, that includes wheat, potatoes, carrots, pumpkins, melons, in order to grow most crops, you have to plant within 4 blocks of a water source. So I just put 4 all the way around, make sure I had plenty of water, also to make it a little symmetrical. I'm not big on symmetrical, but I didn't want just random water. Took me a long time to find enough grass and wheat seeds, random sheep on a fence post. All animals will get on fence posts, and will get into your fences if you don't place your fences right. 2 half slabs together make a whole block. Then I hopped up and down with a flower pot until I got the flower pot placed. Hopped up and down again and put a rose in the flower pot all the way around. So yeah, mobs will try to go over fences, so I'll go into more detail about how to place fences later. But mobs can get over fences if they get a chance, and they will take every possible opportunity so that they can get in and stomp on your crops. By the way, jumping up and down is stomping on my tilled soil and turning it back to regular soil. See? But I had to hop up and down to put my flower pots. I just made my cat mad by moving her because she was sitting on the microphone cord. Took a long time to get enough wheat to go all the way around. I want it to look kind of like a thatched roof from the ground once it's done with all that wheat. And with my texture pack, my wheat is bright golden colored, so it'll look like a straw roof, sort of. But I don't know, the angle, the wheat is kind of short, even full grown. But maybe it'll be visible from the ground. I put half slabs right where I hop up from the ladder so I don't stomp the dirt. There's no point trying to plant there. It'll just be popping out of the ground. Tilled soil with a plant in it, the seeds will pop back out. Those are pumpkin seeds. I want the pumpkins to only be able to grow in one direction so that they won't cross over each other, because 2 vines too close together, the vines will grow to 1 pumpkin. And so, here I needed to make untilled soil because sugarcane won't grow on tilled soil. Sugarcane grows better on sand. I mean, it grows faster, but I don't need it. This is just for decoration mostly, and to block off spaces so the pumpkins won't grow. Put half slabs on top of the water. I didn't know you could do that with sugarcane. I pointed at the bottom part of the sugarcane, and darned if it didn't work. I put half slabs over the water. And now just putting up cocoa beans because they look really cool. They glow. They can be seen from a great distance. You got to get the vines out of the way. The vines were occupying the same spaces where I wanted to put the cocoa beans. So I just put those up mostly for decoration because heaven knows I got plenty of cocoa beans all the way up and down that tree. I am not hurting for chocolate chip cookies. So I removed the vines, and from a distance that'll show up even better. You need a lot of bright stuff high up so you can see how high your structure is. So why not cocoa beans? They don't cost anything. Gosh, I have plenty of them. I've got a jungle full I can harvest too, but I got them all over my trees. Then on the top layer I put a row of hedges, which were jungle leaf blocks, and I added a little bit of gathering seeds so I can plant more seeds. I planted a little bit of vines on the edges, just on the edges of those hedges that I made, and put a few more vines on my pumpkins because, like I said, I'm not real thrilled with the jack-o'-lantern faces, but light still shines through even when they have vines on them. Plus, I just want it to look tree-like. Now, in case I fall, I put vines on the insides here. They won't go on half slabs, but 2 half slabs together make a whole block. So I put them in there just in case I fall, so it'll break your fall. It'll slow you down a little bit until you have a chance to get your act together and figure out what you're going to do so you don't break your neck. So I guess that was the second floor. Okay. Or the second from the highest floor. Did I put all that fancy fencing? So this would be the third down. This is looking really good, but I'm concerned because there's so much dark space up above and mobs could spawn up there. So I'm going to put a donut of leaves and put some jack-o'-lanterns up there too for some extra light. So yeah, I grew a pumpkin. Ta-da! I put that rose in between so that 2 vines won't attach to one pumpkin. They'll create 2 pumpkins. The wheat is coming along fine. On 3 sides, I have an extra row between the wheat and the center point to plant more stuff like melons, potatoes, carrots, so on and so forth. I have pumpkins, but I don't have any melons yet. I'll have a real melon farm downstairs next to my pumpkin patch. When I find melon seeds are hard to find. You can find them in dungeons, strongholds, places like that where there's treasure chests. We didn't get any from our dungeon. I was really disappointed. We got more cocoa beans. Not like we don't have 8 billion cocoa beans already. I would have loved to have found some melon seeds. You can build buildings with melons. I'll show you how if I ever find any. We need cows. I need leather to make books, so I can make an enchanting table. I'd also like to make some item frames so I can show off stuff on the walls. I put half slabs underneath this detail I did on the bottom floor just so it kind of looks like the leaves are in hanging baskets. Pointed at the top of that leaf block and it put the half slab. Looks pretty groovy, I think. And then I gave the jack-o'-lanterns on this floor some hats. I was neglecting the poor little yellow flowers. There's a lot more yellow flowers than red flowers. So I tend to think, ooh, red flowers, scarce, you know. And I neglected the poor little yellow flowers. They're called dandelions. I think that's so sad. I think they're much more dignified. Well, actually, dandelions are pretty dignified. Have you ever eaten dandelion? Very tasty. See, the floor looks uneven, but it matches the natural shape of the leaves. And it's fine for what I'm doing. I just wanted a pretty little space to look out. It's not really a room. It's just sort of a lookout. So there's the bottom layer finished. Well, sort of finished. Nothing is ever finished in Minecraft. The vines will grow down and cover pretty much the whole tree. But that's the jungle house so far. All made mostly with stuff that came out of the jungle. Just for the laughs and giggles. Have a good day.